Hello, and welcome to the Minutes Within the Mist, where we travel the night skies to bring you stories about cryptids, ghosts, and other mysteries. Today, we face deadly saboteurs as Captain Jarrett faces the Gremlins. Captain Chris Jarrett of the Royal Air Force was flying a night mission to France during World War II. He and his crew were all aboard a Lancaster bombing plane, making its way to the French airspace for a night bombing run against the Nazi forces. Tensions were high, but this was an experienced crew with an accomplished pilot. They had flown multiple missions together and trusted one another with their very lives. Everything was going textbook perfect for the initial portion of the mission. Suddenly, one of the Lancaster bomber's engines failed immediately. Every attempt to restart the engine was unsuccessful. It was said that the in-plane radio chatter was full of the crew shouting to one another of small creatures that they could see crawling along the outside of the plane. These creatures were pulling at the wires and the hoses of the engines. Jets of oil and fuel sprayed behind the plane, revealing just how much damage was being caused. Royal Air Force pilots had made multiple reports about these creatures being small with long arms and fingers. They have pointed ears and enormous saucer-shaped eyes. For some unexplained reason, they can not only survive the high altitude's lack of oxygen and freezing temperature, but they are also able to crawl along a plane's outer surface without any difficulty. As Captain Jarrett and the crew attempted to regain control of the plane, all three of the other engines failed at the same time. The bomber was now completely powerless in the sky and starting to plummet to the ground. There were sounds of struggles from the crew against the unseen invading forces in the back. Amidst the screams and the metal tearing, Captain Jarrett said that he opened the hatch at the front of the plane and jumped off to safety. This left the plane to crash into northern France with the rest of the crew and the small saboteurs on board. This was not the only incident in which the Royal Air Force would list plane crashes as being caused by these small creatures. I hope you enjoyed these minutes of Captain Jarrett Faces the Gremlins. Join us at the Within the Mist podcast for more in-depth stories about cryptids, ghosts, and other mysteries. But until then, keep an eye on your planes and remain constantly curious.